Hello everybody and welcome back to the iOS Arcade, and today we're playing the newly released Jigsaw Puzzle Plus. This is one of the games from the June collection of Apple Arcade titles, and I must say this one is definitely value for money because we'll talk about how this game runs in the normal App Store version, because with it being a Plus title means you can actually buy or play it without needing Apple Arcade. It's a completely different game, but you'll see today why this one is actually a really good one. And this has been an absolute dark horse with the games being released, because this already, I would say, is probably the winner of the best game released in the month, because it's highly addictive, it's fun, they've got the balance absolutely correct, and we've got lots to talk about for a Jigsaw game. And what's really surprising is we talked about this on the podcast, and I said this. The only thing I'd say that I'd have liked to have seen from that game, and I'm not sure if I mentioned this in my upload, was it would be cool if they had allowed you to upload your own photos to Jigsaw puzzles. I feel like adds an element of extra difficulty, especially if you have pictures by the sea or with the blue sky. And little did I know when I booted the game up, that big green button there really, I think, changed the perspective of how I thought about this game, because now we're not locked into just specific puzzles. We can have fun and make our own. And if I just show you some of the puzzles I've got on here, got a duplicated one, I think, so I loaded it up on my phone. But as you can see, like, these are my interests. These are some of my photos I've taken. We all take scenic photos on holiday. So now we can have that added element of being able to have the best Jigsaw possible. So, you know, it's giving that extra fun factor, which you can create even harder Jigsaws with the color palettes that you choose. Now, as I've said, this is the iPad version. We can play it on the iPhone as well. It would have been nice to have a Mac version. I think they've missed the trick there. It may come in the future. I'm not entirely sure it will ever come out of it, but it would have been nice to have a Mac version. Just on how it feels on the iPad, I feel like it would have been a good transition. There's definitely never going to be a TV version. That would be absolutely difficult on a controller and the touch remote. So yeah, that one is definitely ruled out to never happen. But yeah, on the iPad here, we're playing, I think, on the iPad Pro 12-inch, and it's really nice. I wouldn't say it's better than actually a physical Jigsaw, but there are parts in here that allows this e-Jigsaw, shall we call it, to be just as fun and relaxing like a normal Jigsaw. Now I'm going to get moving because, of course, I don't want to sit on the menu for too long. As you can see, nice big buttons for an iPad app. Works really well. We've got lots of these Jigsaw puzzles that you can choose. One of the big themes, though, is here, Disney. This is one of the selling points, I think, for the app. And we get all these, of course, for free. And you've got like Gaston, all the villains from Disney, and in a unique art style as well. So they're not just screenshots in the film. These are actually designed. I can see we've got the Lion King characters there. There's some, I was expecting to see Marvel then. So you've got some very friendly characters. I don't know what this tap to preview does. Oh no, it's just, oh, it's animated. Oh, okay. Even better. You can't get that with a real Jigsaw. Now, the big point for me that I've recently had is making my own Jigsaws. Now, I'll show you one that's almost complete. This is 63% complete, and this is a Formula 1 car. It's a split between the Red Bull and the Ferrari, and I've been struggling with this. I think I've been going 35 minutes, which, you know, for a game, it's quite a long time for it. Well, not for a Jigsaw in time, but like to sit here, and it's not felt like 35 minutes. It's actually just felt like, you know, I'm doing a Jigsaw. So that's one of the good parts. And this one is mainly difficult because of how many pieces there are, and also the fact that you have to rotate some of the pieces. And trying to work out where some of them are is quite difficult. Now with this one, there's loads of added bonuses with this. You have this really nice menu at the top here where we can peek, we can see it, we can try and line up some of the shots, just like you would with a real Jigsaw when you have the box. And there's also another mode that allows you to do preview, which is probably a little bit too easy. So we might be able to line this one up now. Now I can see it on the background. I think that goes somewhere around here. I thought it did. Nope, not as hard, not as easy as I thought it would, but I can try and find the word so you can see the image behind. And we can try and find, that's definitely going to go there. So yeah, the preview function is probably a bit too easy for me, but you can customize this experience to how you like. So, and we can take the Jigsaws, have all the pieces on accidentally, but you can also put them back into the tray, which I would reference as the lid of the Jigsaw. So I'm not too sure why those have stuck. I guess it's because they are pieced together. So that's actually good design. I hadn't noticed that. So let's go home. I think what I'll do is I'll load up a jigsaw, a smaller jigsaw than that one, because that one is a, how many pieces is that? 144. I've got a nice 36 piece one here that I'll be able to put together on the video. Let's just show you the big boy. I don't even know if this is the biggest amount, but my god, look how many pieces there are. And I do want to keep this one and attempt to complete it, because I feel like that would be a good challenge. It's not difficult to do, so I'm going to try and do that one. But for today's video, we're going to keep it nice and simple. 36 pieces. I think rotation is turned off on this one. Yeah, so I can't rotate the pieces. And that's that added bonus of just being able to customize the experience how we like. Now, this is the image. This is a picture I took in Malta. It's the Popeye Village, a movie set from an old film that they've turned into a tourist destination. And that's what I mean. You can take your own pictures and have lots of fun with it. Now, this probably looks a bit easy for me, which is fine. That's exactly what I want it to be in the video, just to show you that it's a jigsaw game. You know, I don't want to add the lull time into it. Now, with the rotation being off, I'll come back to rotation. I've just noticed that I'm using all the pieces here. One of the things that this game does is, you notice this is like a middle piece. You can actually just say, I want to see the edges, and now we have literally just sped up the process. And I would tell you now, if this was something you could do in real life, you know, maybe buy a jigsaw with the bag of edges all together, then you would save a lot of time. So, and this is, okay, we'll come back to the water and sky are always the hardest. That's something I do know from doing jigsaws myself. I'm not the biggest fan of jigsaws, but I know certain family members of mine can spend hours playing them. Do you play jigsaws or do you do jigsaws? That's the question I want to know. So as you can see, look at this, slotting right together. And water and sky, because they're always blue and they're not, you know, as easy to see the shading in it. That's going to go there, that's going to go there, that's going to go there. And then watch this. When I put the last edge back on, all the other pieces reappear, which is so cool. And if you don't do jigsaws, the whole point is start with the edges, like build your frame, and then you look for little areas. Now, this jigsaw is probably too big. And what I mean by that, the pieces are probably like too big to sort of like build it together. But if we find some of the buildings and try and put them together, try and find matching buildings, that's what you would tend to do. I feel like this is a lesson in jigsaws more than anything. So that's coast. So that's going to go there. Boats, got to go in the water. So I want to build a middle bit because you can also connect the pieces together. There we go. So if I can try and find a bit that would connect to that roof, that's going to go there. And also, of course, look at the shape of the jigsaw as well. I feel like that's going to go there. Yeah, it's coming nicely together now. So where does this go? So we've got to try and look at it. There's obviously a cliff ahead. It's actually harder than I thought, this one. But I feel like because it's so big, like there's not a lot of visibility that you can see. I did chose this image because I feel like it's the closest I've got to a real jigsaw that you would probably buy. That's obviously going to be here. There we go. Rock's obviously nice and easy to go at the top. This would be quite a cool thing to live stream. And we could like request images. We could do like a charity jigsaw. That'd be pretty cool. Right, that goes there. And then it has this effect that you can turn off, but I do like it when you put your last image in. And there we go. So, and I did that one, how long did that take? It will tell you the time. You got some little stats that go with it. So that took 3 minutes. It also does offer you some other jigsaws down below. So I actually didn't talk about what I actually wanted to talk about when I was in there. So what's easier without rotation on? Rotation adds an element of annoyance, really. That's what this one is difficult for, because you can't just guess where the pieces have got to go, especially with the bodywork of the car. Let's try and see if we can... So that's part of the suspension, but where does it go? And then which orientation and which side of the car does it go? So that's where I found it most difficult on this jigsaw, is, especially as you can see now, the colour bits is basically done. The Ferrari was really easy to do because you've got the shades of the red, and obviously the Red Bull's a little bit harder to do, but then you've got all the darker colours. So this is where, like, choose your images wisely, because you will get stuck. There we go. Nice slot in piece there. So let's just go home and have a look at some of the other options that this game has. Obviously, the difference between this and the free-to-play version is the jigsaws itself. Everything on this version is free. We have all of the challenges, we have all of the Disney characters, and I do know that there is, I think, like £4 per pack of Jigsaw designs. So like if you were to play this and to really like go hard on it, I would say you'd be spending a lot of money, which is really crazy to think that, you know, for $5.99, not only are you getting nearly 300 games on Apple Arcade, but you're also getting, you know, a very well-made Jigsaw game. So, and that's, you know, the element that's exciting, that you can play the custom designs. You've even got daily challenges, you've got objectives. I'm not sure what you get for completing them. I think they're more just goals to achieve. That's a nice one. This one here of the ice creams. Before we finish this video, really, because it is just Jigsaws, I don't really know what else we can talk about with it. That's probably a nice Jigsaw to do. It also tells you the collection. You can see the level of pieces. So 1,000 is the biggest, but trust me, 500 is the typical, I would say, size for someone who does a Jigsaw in real life. So 500 isn't an option. 529. Interesting. I think it's because it's a square. A lot of Jigsaws are rectangle in real life, but I think because of the square, I'd have thought they would have been more equal. So you could do a 9-piece Jigsaw, give that a child, they'd be able to do it, or you can master maybe like a 300 Jigsaw. That would be a decent size, I think, for that image. Would actually be quite a nice one. You can turn rotation on and off. That is going to add the element of difficulty, really. I would always recommend the tray on. The tray, while it's downloading the puzzle, is this left bit here. And you can have multiple. And where you'd actually find this useful is you would maybe categorize all the orange pieces together, like so. So you go through, pull them all off, because remember the image, there's a big block of orange. Let's just do peak. There we go. So the sun and the trees in that middle sector is where you would actually be getting these oranges from. So, and it'd be interesting if you had like your iPhone to the side with the image on, whether that would be useful as well. So imagine, I wouldn't say in esports in Jigsaws, but I could see some competitions on Twitch and things like that you could use this game for. You know, just throwing some different style of content out there for people to play. So let's say that that's all the orange pieces. I can then come to tray 2 and I can actually just say, yeah, fill it in. And then we could work on just the oranges, and then we've got the rest of the colours. So you can empty. Let me do it on the Formula 1 because this is quite impressive. So if we just fill all the pieces off, I've got preview on here as well, so you can see the image behind. As I've mentioned earlier, that to me seems a bit too easy. But if I empty that off, you can see all of the pieces. So, and you can do that for any of the Jigsaws. So you can also choose your background as well, depending on the Jigsaws. You know, the colour of it, whether you just want white or black, that might be useful. You can pause it as well, just in case you're trying to be competitive. And it's got built-in music. Typically, I haven't really listened to much of the tracks, but I assume it's going to be quite nice, mellow mindfulness music. Wow, that was a good sentence. I enjoyed saying that. I always on this channel, whenever I rhyme or say something that just keeps going and going and going, it's quite impressive for my vocab. Let's go with that. So yeah, that is Jigsaw Puzzle Plus. I don't really want to bore you too much with just playing jigsaws in front of you. There's not a lot else that this game's going to wow you with, but the designs, the fact that Disney's on here, and it also shows the percentages of challenges you've done as well. So, you know, if this is some sort of game that you want to play and enjoy, I know that Reese Tafso, who was on my podcast, said he'd enjoy this game, and I think after watching this video, he's definitely going to try it out because he said he liked a puzzle game. So, and so do I, as I found out. So, thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you in another video. Obviously, we are the iOS Arcade. We cover all the Apple Arcade stuff and some of the games that are coming out on the iOS platform. So, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in another video.